fantasy football strategy. So fantasy football playoff strategy. Sorry, playoff strategy. So one thing, I got a new thing to bring to the table.
Ooh,
And you guys
let's
in the
hear it.
live chat, please let me know if this is true or not. If you guys can confirm or not. I'm not sure if you can confirm. But appeared on a podcast with the Fantasy Suits. There are two lawyers who do a fantasy football podcast. I can call myself a special guest, right? I'm that
I
good.
think you can.
Just put the word
Yes.
special behind it. It doesn't really mean
Like
anything anyway.
legally, you can.
It doesn't mean. What does that mean? Special guest. It
Yeah,
doesn't really
you
mean
are,
anything.
bro.
I was a special guest on the Fantasy Suits podcast, and my friends there, they made a post today, and they said on Yahoo. So I need you guys to confirm this. I haven't confirmed this, but I do believe them. On Yahoo, if you have a first round bye, bench all your players, because on Yahoo you're able to drop a player even though they're playing as long as they're on your bench. So I don't know if this is true.
Yeah, that's true.
It
Yeah,
is?
that's
You
true.
can confirm that?
We have that in one of our leagues, Yahoo leagues.
Okay.
That's what some people do. So if they're on your bench but they played, you can still swap them out as long as they're on your bench and not in your starting lineup. That's true.
Well, there we have it, folks. We have a confirmation. We got another one of those veteran tips right now that I just learned
Yeah.
this week. So yeah, if you have a first round buy on Yahoo, go ahead
Not
and
even if you have first round bye, I think it just applies no matter what.
yeah, but
Like, because I've seen people
that's
do
the
that.
tip though. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
what you're
yeah, yeah.
saying is also true. Like, hey, use
Yeah,
this
right,
tip
right.
whenever. Yeah, I got
Yeah,
you.
whenever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's
also,
across the
but
board.
especially if you have a first round buy, bench all your players because
Right,
of
right.
this. I'm not even gonna call it a loophole because I'm open minded.
Well,
I see it.
yeah,
I see the reason they did it. It's just not well known. I'd say it's not everyone knows
yeah.
this.
That's a good little glitch or like little like small edge that someone can have.
Little
You know what
change
I
in the
mean?
couch, little dollar bills in
Yeah.
the couch you can find. That only me and you
Right.
know. Only us couch
Exactly.
fams know.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's it. So Mike has confirmed it already. Andrew says I can confirm it as well. There you go. So
Boom.
any players on your bench you can add or drop. You can drop even if they've played, even if they're playing on Yahoo. And so if you do have a first round buy guys in Yahoo, make sure you do bench all your players so you can apply this loophole to anybody. And that's going to give you an edge. Let's say a player, something really really bad happens to a player, boom, you can drop them. Or whatever the case may be. They might just not be that good. Boom, drop them and add someone else. So that's that. You always want to have an edge. And
Yeah.
I give this speech every year, and so this year I will give it again, and I'll just be super fast with it. If you do have a first round bye, make sure you're competing even harder than any of your other opponents. Don't get lackadaisical. Don't celebrate too much that you got a first round bye because it really means nothing. It's good. Don't get me wrong. Small little celebrations, okay. Little two claps, that's it. You got the first round bye. Yeah, yes, we got the W. Let's move on. Let's log in more than our opponents. Let's check the waivers more than our opponents. Let's look at what players are being acquired and dropped and added. Let's look at all the transitions. You know what? Let's study the playoff brackets more. Let's look at what the seeding. Let's look at who I'm possibly going to play. Let's study their team. Who's their quarterbacks? Do they have a defense? Can I block them? Maybe I should go add the Eagles D just in case. Maybe I go add the Packers D. Who knows? Like, let's see what I can do. There's so many little moves and nuances and getting to know your opponent to see what you can. Now, a lot of these won't apply. I'm gonna be frank because like I'm in the playoffs in a 20 team league, and all those guys have good quarter. Like even in a 20 team league, they all have a quarterback or something. But you never know. Sometimes that can happen. Like the defense example is much more practical. Some teams don't have a good defense. Some owners don't have a good defense. So you might be able to add a defense for week 15 and go on do it. And what a lot of people like to talk about, and I'm not against this necessarily, is good playoff schedules. Which players are have a great schedule weeks 14, 15, 16. That's okay to look at that, but actually your number one and that's like a good video. Like if I made that video and I posted it, that's a cool video. It'll get a few clicks. But what you really want to focus on, the main factor, is this week, or if you have a bye, week 15. That's the main thing. That's like 90% what you want to focus on, not really what's week 15 and 16 and 14, the week that's a must win. So if you don't have a bye, you really need a win this week, a must win. So focus on increasing your chances, giving your team the best chance to win week 14. If you got a bye, make that week 15. Look ahead to week 16, sure, but not too much. Don't look too far ahead. You know, when you're learning to drive a car, you look too far ahead, or you're looking too much in the rear view or whatever, and boom, you crash what's right in front of you. Boom, you crash. Week 14, you lose against your week 14 opponent. You know, don't look too far ahead. Don't count your couch chickens before they hatch. You guys get the drill. You guys get what I'm saying. What I'm saying is making sense, right, Mike?
Yes, definitely.
So stay hungry. Don't be cocky. Be confident, but not cocky. Be hungry. Go get that W. Did that cover? That covered everything, right?
Yeah, I got two like small tips I just want to share with our followers that I've been employing in this playoffs. One is like so I've been benching like players that from my starting lineup that I'm not sure yet who to start. So I'm leaving slots empty basically so my opponent can't get a read on like what kind of players I might start. So it's kind of like poker, you know, you don't want to show too much of your hand or give away too many tells. And also, I think by doing this, it kind of freezes their decision making because like they don't know what to to adjust their lineup to because they don't know what you're doing. So that's something that I've employed this playoff that I think at least keeps people guessing and
And
keeps your opponent on tilt.
and if you're on the other side of that, don't even look at who they're starting. Really, don't pay too much attention to
They
that.
do though; they can't
No,
help it
they
though.
just
It's
people
like
do. No, so
human
what you're
nature.
saying is good. I'm saying
Yeah,
if
exactly.
you're playing against Mike,
Yeah, if
don't
you're playing if
worry
someone's
too
smart like
much
me.
on who he start. It's actually good to look at Mike's roster. Let's see what defense he has. Let's see what quarterbacks he has. Don't read too much into who your opponent is starting or sitting, though.
Yeah, that's the point. But yeah, it just kind of like keeps them off balance
Oh,
because
and
they,
it
they
works.
can't just.
I'm getting
It does
questions. I'm
work.
getting questions today of people freaking the f out today, and I'm like, dude,
Yeah,
just start your stats. Relax.
yeah. So that's one thing I've done that I think is actually effective. Another thing to just to remind everyone is like make sure you're utilizing your IR spots correctly. So like some people I notice who are in the playoffs, they still have players who are out like in their bench spots. Like for example, like Hunter Renfro. I'm like, why do you still have Hunter Renfro? You should have either dropped him or put him in your IR spot. Well, not even put him in your IR spot, just dropped him straight up. But the fact that people are wasting their bench spots for players like that who are clearly not going to play or like or have that out designation, that's very foolish because you want to every bench spot matters. So every detail matters. So make sure you're utilizing those spots correctly and you're not having any dead weight on your bench that you can't be using more effectively.
Yeah, this is the time to really tighten things up and don't lose by like 1 point, or don't lose because you did something dumb and didn't add an extra player. Because that Hunter Renfro thing, you could have maybe added a defense and blocked your opponent, or added
Right,
a
exactly.
quarterback and blocked your opponent, so
Exactly.
there's just a lot of, or add a tight end, like a Tyler Higbee or a Jonu Smith, a tight end that they may not think, you never know
You
what's going
never
to happen. A
know.
lot of things popped up today, like Josh Jacobs is hurt, the
Yep.
Raiders are hurt, Derek
Thielen, people don't
Well,
know.
that's kind
Yeah.
of known, but yeah, I mean, there's things that pop up, and tomorrow more
Yeah.
new things can pop up.
Le'Veon's sick somehow.
Le'Veon's sick. Yeah,
A
that's
lot of
real
Jets
news.
players.
The
Yeah.
flu's going around crazy. Uh,
The Darnold character giving everyone mono.
Darnold's kissing everybody. Just joking, guys. Darnold, don't sue us. This is a parody. This is a parody.
Darnold.
Nothing on the show is serious. It's all
Or you can
entertainment.
come on the show to prove your innocence.
Oh yeah, come on the show and prove it. Prove yourself. Um, I was thinking of a player. Daryl Williams, I think, just got placed on IR today. Spencer
From the
Ware.
Chief. Oh yeah,
Spencer. So
Spencer
we can
Ware is like
actually have Spencer Ware on the show, I think.
if somehow you win a championship with a Chiefs running back, like that's
I hate
amazing.
you, first of all. You're not welcome on the podcast. Whoever does that,
That could be
that
me.
could be you.
Could be me.
Could be
And
you.
David Shaw.
Could be you. But yeah, Spencer Ware is actually a guy we can have on the podcast. I can probably get him on.